Okay.
Okay, hello, everybody. 4 p.m. And just for the record, I will read off who's here. So Ann Brigham is here, Christine Robinson, Christine Marglin, Sam Spiciak, and myself, Barbara Bigelow. Hi, Christine. Elaine is not coming. As far as I know, BZ will be here. So first order of business is the minutes. Is there any discussion about the minutes from our last meeting? Do I have, is it a move? I forget what we call it. Does anyone move to accept the minutes? A second? And all those in favor, raise your hand, and that is unanimous. Super, thank you. So the reason I sent out these rather copious notes with an agenda is because once again, somebody signed up for the 5 o'clock slot and they signed up before I signed up for the 4 o'clock slot. So we need to end 10 minutes early. There's only one Zoom channel apparently, or Zoom meeting can be going on at a time. But I also learned that I can just set up meetings. I've been waiting till I have a specific agenda, but I'm just going to set up a whole pile of meetings for this time going into the future. So first thing, Sam, first, is officially a member of the committee. I've said this about this before, that often what I find is that this is always an exercise in learning what I don't know. And I didn't really know the process for getting somebody to be a member. And then Grace let me know, so yay. And we do vote on who the chair will be. We already did say that we wanted Sam as the chair, but I thought we should take an official vote to have in the minutes now that Sam's actually a member of the committee. So first, is there any discussion? Okay, so I move that Sam Spiciak be named co-chair along with myself. All those in favor, raise your hand. And the minutes can show that that is unanimous. Yay. All right, so, which I don't think this agenda, well, we'll see. Well, it shouldn't take us very long. First of all, Ames Pond is no longer Ames Pond. They renamed it. Did you know that, Ann? Oh, you just saw that when you saw this.
No, I thought that was so interesting. Yeah, I just saw it from the agenda.
Yeah, I was really kind of surprised at that. That is now Brightwater Bog. So, you know, just what I wrote here, construction is winding down. He thinks it'll be okay to schedule a walk there in June, but encourage us to schedule it as late in the month as possible. We'd also encourage you to check in with us a week before the walk. So it's making everything, I don't know, personally, unless somebody else wants to do it, I would prefer not to schedule that walk. Schedule it in the new year, in the fall, and then we can have fall spring walks. Is that going to be okay with people?
Mhm.
Okay. But meanwhile, jumping right to the bird watching, I got a message from Elaine saying that Cliff would like to do the bird watching. He said yes to birding and that Ames Pond would be best. He said now in the next few weeks would be best, and the 2-hour venture at 6 or 7 a.m. is best. So what I was going to do is relay the information to Elaine that, you know, Stu wrote. She would have, once she sees the agenda or the minutes, she'll know that to be the case. And then she can check with him whether they want to find a different spot, just have a different spot as a backup, or not. But I think that basically it sounds like as long as they schedule it as late in June as they possibly can, that should be fine. How does that sound? Good, okay.
Can you repeat? I'm sorry, can you repeat the name of the person who would lead?
Sure.
Or is that in the minutes?
No, because I just learned it today. His name is
Okay.
Cliff, C-L-I-F, and Reed, R-E-A-D.
Just one F?
Just one F. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so he has said yes to the birding, which is great.
Okay.
But it's going to be a matter of picking a date and time. And I think that, given, I don't think we're in a position to do that, so we'll just ask Elaine and Cliff to take care of the details on that. And then once we know, we'll send out a townwide email, and we would once again be partnering with the library on this. So I will let Mary Ann know that this is going to be happening. And Mary Ann has been really wonderful about taking on the details of things. So, you know, we don't have to, or Sam and I don't have to be keeping track of who's signing up and who's not, because she kind of has a system down for that. But I will ask her to find out how many people. I should put that down. Because we've been putting caps on things. Okay. So at this point, then what I will just say to her is that, yes, definitely go ahead, but have a backup place in case this does not work, because they're gonna, and then once they have a date, call Stu a week before, and that's all she's gonna have to do. All right, the night sky, it was so wonderful. Oh my goodness, I just want to thank you, Christine, so much, because you're the one who made this happen. Yay, I know, it was so wonderful. There were maybe 20 people there, maybe a few more, I'm not sure. Everybody had a wonderful, wonderful time. It started off, it was still a little bit light when he got to his home. He gave a talk about where we would see things. He told us a little bit about his telescopes, and then the stars started coming out. And apparently part of the reason, or a large part of the reason, that he picked that property is because it's as far away as you can get from any of the lights around, and it's on a hill, and he's got an open space. So you can really see a lot of stars. The moon started to come up somewhere around 10:30. I guess, well, actually, we left pretty close to 10:30. The moon had not come up yet, but there was light in the sky from the moon. But we were able to look at, you know, the different stars through his telescopes, and we saw a star cluster, 2 different types of star clusters. But mainly, I don't know, for me, there was something almost childlike of being able to stand outside looking up at the stars like that. I mean, I looked through the telescopes and that was cool, but it was just looking at the immense sky, and he knows everything. He's just so knowledgeable. So now here's the thing that for us to decide. So as you know, we had two days scheduled, and both of those days we had to cancel because of the clouds. And so this was kind of our makeup day. Several of the people, actually a number of the people, said, oh, I hope you do this again. We really like it. And Tom wanted to do it again. Plus there were people who couldn't make it because they had signed up, but then they were away for the weekend. So he suggested doing this again in August. The weather will be good for it, and in terms of the patterns of when it's going to be dark or get light, it's about the same as it is right now. So he suggested August. The only question is whether we had planned on doing 2, just to have a way of just seeing the difference between how the Earth's rotation affects what we see, or its movement through space actually affects what we see. And so there's a question of whether we do 1 or 2 of these events. So that's kind of what I'm throwing out. I think the only reason that I can think of to not do 2 would be budgetary reasons, but we ended up with a lot of extra money this year. So I think that if I don't think that needs to be a major consideration. So what are your thoughts? Yeah, good. You like that? Oh, that's a vote for 2. Christine? Yeah.
2.
Okay, so should we
Barbara,
do?
can you give just a little, I wasn't able to make it. Who was there? Was it a diverse crowd of people?
Different ages. There were a lot of people I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was also some of the people that I've seen at the walks and some of the other events that we've done. but there were also people that I've never seen at an event before. There were
Mhm.
some, according to Mary Ann, who was collecting information on who was signing up. There were people who were new to town there, as well as people who've been in town for a long time. So,
Yeah, that makes me think too. I mean, I thought two anyway, but it sounds like you had a lot of people there. Sorry, Christine, you were
Yeah.
gonna say something.
yeah, Christine?
What, me? I didn't have anything to say.
Oh, no, oh, sorry, Christine Robinson.
Sorry, I
Your
was
little hand is up.
trying,
Okay, there we
I
go.
was trying to unmute myself.
Oh.
I am so happy for you that you discovered a new world, and it's like the little kid that comes out of us, Barbara. Were there any little kids?
No, there were not.
Interesting. So he
Yeah.
said, second or third week of August.
Okay,
That's what Tom suggested.
well, I would leave it to him to choose once again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be gone, the second half of August, so I may or may not be able to go. So I want to just be sure that someone else on the committee is gonna be able to go, so. Actually, I don't think we really necessarily, he pretty much ran it, but I did introduce him and, we clapped and thanked him. So I sort of took a ceremonial role of just recognizing him, and, I talked for like all of less than a minute at the beginning. And then I think we could have all stood out there all night. So somewhere around 10:30, I thought, I'm getting really tired here. Some people had just been kind of trailing off. So at that point, I did suggest that we end. So. Okay, so 2 nights of night sky viewing. Great. And then Christine, how do you feel about still being kind of the person who's the major contact person for him?
I am cool with that, and I will check in about the dates that
Thank
he's
you.
thinking about.
Okay,
And yeah, that's cool. Thanks.
great. And then we can let and we can talk. We'll let Mary Ann know and ask Mary Ann to keep track of who's coming and whatnot. for
Yes.
that. Great.
Thank you, Barbara.
Sure. I was just about to look at my calendar because I'm going to be a little selfish here. If it could be in the second week, I'd be a really happy camper because I'm leaving on that Tuesday of the third week. So if it is possible to do it the week of August 12th, that would be fantastic. If not, like I said, I don't have to be there. I just want to be there.
I'll be your Eddie Haskell.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right, budget. So at this point, we spent $2,171.38. That includes Tom for the night sky. If we do the bird watching, that's going to add another $250, which leaves us with a balance of $578.62. We agreed at the last meeting that we would spend the balance on just whatever the paraphernalia is that would be needed for soccer and for an event tent. So I did a quick little look at event tents, and they range anywhere from $150 on up, and sort of a common price seems to be around $350. So I have no idea how much it's going to cost to get whatever the size soccer ball is that younger kids would use, the nets and things, but let's assume we had to spend $350 on the tent. That would still leave us $220 and some change for soccer stuff. And I'm guessing it wouldn't be that much. Sam, do you have any sense of what this might cost?
I guess it would, I mean, I think it can be as big as we make it. We could buy 1 net, we could buy 2 nets, we could buy 10 balls. I think, yeah, I think a ball, I mean, nothing's that cheap that day. Like a ball is probably $15 and we get, 5 or 10 of those. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we could, if we need to spend the rest of the money on soccer, we could. If we don't want to, I don't think we have to either.
Yeah, my sense from last time is that we wanted to do both a tent and the soccer. So whatever's left over after we pick a tent?
I think we just get the balls and the nets. Then
Okay,
the
great.
leftover.
Good. I've heard pennies are cheap.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I don't
haven't-
know. I mean, I was.
No,
not
I
gonna-
just Googled, it looks like you can get pennies as cheap for $3 each.
Mhm.
And Sam, your assessment of soccer ball is correct. I mean, and that's not, I'm just Googling, so that's not to say there could be some good deal out there that I'm just not looking at. But you could, I think you could get a lot of stuff for $250.
I agree.
Good.
I think
Okay.
it's a solid start.
Kind of what I'm inclined to do if Sean is wanting to do this is tell him, here's what the budget is, buy what you need. Because I don't know. None of us know really.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
can-
you can get a portable soccer goal for $28.
Perfect.
So who knew?
I can do that with Sean. He and I have been meeting to meet up and it just hasn't happened in a bit. Like we usually do play dates with our kids and it just hasn't happened, but we'll try to do that before the next meeting and have a better idea.
Great. Yeah, I would actually, I'm not sure that you need to come back to the meeting to detail the specific things that you buy, because in terms of what I need to submit, I would just say soccer equipment.
Okay.
I don't really need to have a detailed, so if you two decide, here's what we need, and I will try to get a price on a tent over the next week. I'll ask Mary Ann, she may have an idea about that. And then that way you'll know what your budget is and just basically spend it. Because if
Okay.
you don't spend it, we lose it.
We lose it. Yep.
Okay. All right, so basically then, unless there's any questions, concerns, whatever, we'll just proceed along with that. And Sam, you'll be in touch with Sean and I'll find out what the budget is. And the only other thing that I've been assuming this, but I'm jumping ahead to the soccer, but we're talking about the soccer, so it makes sense to do that now. I've been making the assumption that we're going to be doing the soccer in the same way that we did the pickleball. I think I probably already mentioned this. That is that we'll be a sponsor, but we're not running it. So this committee can help with expenses, like the soccer balls could.
Advertising.
We can do advertising through a town-wide email. I think things, advertising at the school probably makes sense for you and Sean to do. And then do it through Stephen Kara, because he's always an enthusiastic supporter of the things that we do. But I don't see any of us helping.
I have a question about
Mhm.
that. I think you might need insurance for something like that and would
Oh, right, you
through
do.
the rec committee, can we use the town insurance? Because when I quickly talked to Sean today, that was the one expense he had discussed with me,
Okay,
but I didn't know how much it was. It was a quick chat.
okay. That's the kind of thing that Elaine tends to know, that kind of thing.
Okay,
So I
we
have
can
to
talk about it next time. Even we can talk about it with Elaine next meeting too.
Yeah, the only, we could, I guess it depends on when Sean is wanting to start. So this is like in the fall?
Fall.
Oh, okay. Then we have all the time in the world.
We've got time. Yep.
Yeah, but we don't have all the time in the world to spend the money because the
Right.
budget runs out. Okay, good. Not good that the budget runs out, but good that we've got a plan there.
Yep.
All right. So insurance, I will ask Elaine. Because if we're a sponsor, they may or may not be under the town's insurance. I don't know. Okay. Is there anything else on the soccer? I'll just kind of move ahead. All right. And then Shutesbury Open Studios. I got an email from Joan that just had a list of all the different artists and where they're going to be. I did got $300 as we had agreed to her, and she's gonna be using the money. There's a woman who has done some some design work that she's been unable to pay, and so this allowed her to pay that. It also allows her to give a little bit of money to each studio so that they can purchase some refreshments. So she was really very pleased to get the $300. It worked out really nicely for that. I am planning on going to the open studio, and I kind of wanted to put it out there that if any recreation committee members would like to come with me, I would love that. Oh, good, Christine, fantastic, and oh, great. Yeah,
When
just-
is it again?
It's
When is
June
it again,
30th.
Barbara?
June
June
30th.
30th. Okay. I don't know if I can go or not.
Yeah.
I'd love to
So,
go.
yeah, and you don't need to know right this second either, so.
Oh, no, I can't. I'm away. Sorry. Can't go.
Oh, dear. Well, I've been handing them out. It's been really interesting because I hand out trash bags. I've done it just 2 times, and I really pushed the little leaflet. It's amazing how many people identify as artists. And so people are really excited about it. So I'm hoping that there will be a good showing on this. So I think the only other things then are the next meetings. So June 25th will be our next meeting. And Sam and I will need to talk about this. So Sam, I'm just kind of leaping in here because doing this, but in the future, we will do this collaboratively. And if we don't, you have my permission to publicly complain about me for the record. I'll try not to be a little bossy, whatever. So our agenda will be to review activities from this year and get a preliminary list of activities for the coming year. And something that Sam suggested is that we put together a calendar that just shows what are things that we are doing or thinking about doing in different months. Because we will have some repeat things. I mean, if this night sky thing is successful, we may be doing the night sky every year. We do the family field day every year. So if we're doing the 2 walks, we'll be doing those every spring and every fall. So it's just, I really liked that idea to get that, to have that there. Let's see. Oh, I copied that by mistake. So that's going to be the agenda for June. Getting that preliminary list. I just realized that I copied twice, so then it gets into construction at Ames Pond, but that has nothing to do with anything. My inclination is not to have a meeting in July. I don't really think we're going to be doing anything. Oh, curb your enthusiasm. Wow. Jeez. Okay. We'll have to think about that one. And then the meeting after that will be August 27th. I'm away, but we have a co-chair, yay! And the
Yay.
major discussion at that one is Family Field Day. So that's, you know, we've done that before, and you know, it'll be nice to have somebody in the school to help out. And Stephen has always been wonderful about that. So Sam, you and I can talk about that, because then it's just a matter of finding out from him when he would like to have it. Because he picks the date, not us, because he has a better sense of the schedule. And I think that's it. So we were really short. And there's nothing contentious.
Barbara, I have a question.
But
I have a question.
I'm just laughing.
This came up, Christine M., because of you when you were trying to find information about the original Night Sky event and you couldn't find the information anywhere. Remember that?
Yeah.
So, I'm just wondering, so Christine M. was trying to figure out like what before they were canceled, like when is it? How do I sign up? And it wasn't on the library website, right, Christine?
Correct.
I'm kind of speaking for you, but it just reminded me, how do we advertise? I feel like the last Night Sky one, you sent out an email, but how is it, where are those when we co-sponsor, sorry, this is like the question that would never end. When we co-sponsor events with the
Are you an
library,
academic or something?
just a confused person. Does Mary Ann post those on the library website that say, hey, does anyone want to do this? Sign up here. And I should turn it over to you, Christine, because it sounds like you looked in a couple different places to try to find the information and you could not find it listed anywhere.
I looked on the town website. I looked on our page on the town website. I looked on the library website. I searched next door. I couldn't find it anywhere listed at all. And I had not gotten that email that evidently was sent out to town residents. I don't get those, I guess. I don't know.
I think you need to check with Gail Fleischiger to make sure you're on the list. I don't know how it's determined who is and is not.
I can take on making sure to learn how to update our website. I can take that on. We talked about that. And maybe I should make I can like going forward make flyers for the events too. We have like I think we picked out a logo and I'll send them over to Mary Ann. And that could
So-
make it easier, or we can make a Facebook page. That's another thing. So a lot of people use.
Well,
Yeah.
part of the reason, and I own that, I'm not good about keeping our page up to date. So I got it up to date like a week or so, 2 weeks ago maybe, and then now it needs to be up to date again. And so when Sam and I were talking about responsibilities, that was something that Sam said she didn't mind doing, because for whatever reason, I just don't think of it. And so then it
Yeah.
gets way out of date. In terms of the advertising for it, it filled up like that. We
Yeah.
couldn't take any more people. So, so initially I sent out a townwide, or I didn't, Elaine did it on my behalf, sent out a townwide email with the information about the night sky. And then within like a day, maybe, the one was way over. In fact, it was up over 26 people, and she kept taking people thinking people wouldn't show up. But then it got canceled, so we'll never know. But I think there was a pretty motivated group of people who wanted to come. And then we never did another one for the second date because it was filled. And then we never did a broad email for the rain date because we had like 30 plus people who had signed up and wanted to go. So we couldn't take any more people. So that's kind of part of a problem with a really popular event, which so
Yeah.
far all our events have been pretty popular. Several people came up to me to say how much they really have been enjoying the activities. But we're limited. You know, we're really limited in how many people we can take on a walk, especially, or the birding, it'll probably be limited. This had to be limited. So that's part of the reason. Part of it was a failure on my part. Part of it was once that first townwide email went out, it all filled up.
Yeah.
And
Well, this is great. And I wasn't raising this to assign blame or to assign tasks to people. I'm happy to help you, Sam, you know, if you need copy or whatever, but I think it would be great to just have the events on the rec committee website and then say like waitlist only, because maybe, you know, just having that history. And as you said, Barbara, all the things that the committee have been organizing have been really successful. So if you're new to town or not, and you want to just see what we do, I don't know what people think about that, but
I love it. So basically keep a list just as of all the activities that we've done. I think that's wonderful.
So as they're coming up, and then in the past too, but I didn't mean to assign anybody.
Oh, no.
So,
And I
Sam,
wasn't
I'm happy to support you if I can at all.
Sense of feeling.
Not that I can do anything website related, but I can read words and edit them.
Yeah, well, I'm very aware of my limitations, and keeping up with that is one of my limitations. So it hasn't been an issue before, but now, thank God, Sam said, oh, I can do that. So I was really appreciative.
Well, I haven't done it yet, so we'll see. We'll talk so far.
Our hopes are very high.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I do, I mean, I like the idea of once it's full, just saying waiting list only. And then if people want to continue to sign up, they can, but we had waiting lists with Graham's Walk. I forget how many ended up not being able to come, but I did put together a waiting list on that one. So
And even going back to the trip to Zoe's farm, I feel
That's
like
right.
those events were really well attended. The invasive plants workshop was well attended, so there's a history.
oh, I knew there was something else that I wanted to bring up. This has to do with the invasive plant guy. So at that second time that he came, there were a bunch of people. You
Not we.
picture the woman, but not her
Yeah.
name. They formed a group.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
they're working with DPW. She's gone and given talks. It all came from that event. So I've got to remember who she is. She's one of the people who's heading that up, because I thought it would be great to have like a little write-up about how this grew out of a recreation committee. And that would be fantastic to have on our page as well. But I asked her, would she be willing to write something up? And she said, yes. So I just thought, that's so cool. We made a difference. This spawned something, which was really wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day when I was trying to figure out how to take down the second burning bush in my yard.
Oh,
And I was thinking that our events have drawn such different groups of people. I mean, I haven't been to many of the recent ones, but that's so nice, like that different people are attracted to different events. It's not like a core group of people who are going to everything. So
right.
I was wondering, what was the invasive plants guy's name?
Brian.
Brian. It's like,
I can't remember his last name because I
I
was
need him to help me. I mean, I did such an elaborate dosing every branch with white vinegar and salt and cutting them and wrapping them in a tarp for a year. I mean, I was just like, I wonder if there's a quicker way to get rid of my burning bush. Sorry, I'm filling time while we're waiting for our special guests.
Oh, he's not coming.
Oh, he's not?
Yeah, you didn't have to say any of that.
Oh.
That was a joke.
I thought he was coming at 4:30. I thought that was your.
Oh, I forgot to say at the beginning. Or maybe we did say, but no, well, whatever. He's not able to come.
Oh,
Yeah, about the soccer. So what Brian said to do, which is the most effective thing, is you cut it, and then within minutes, you paint it with a Roundup. So you're not
yes,
spraying it.
I know.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that too, but it gets rid of things. But I guess what this group is really focusing on is the Japanese knotweed.
Yeah,
So,
just
yeah,
everywhere.
I mean, we make a difference. It's just we kind of
Mhm.
go along, and then learn these things, and we make a difference. So, okay. And I think that is it. Anything else that I may be missing? Okay. Well, our next meeting, I'll see you all at the next meeting on June 25th. And then on June 30th, we can figure out anybody who wants to come. We'll kind of gather and off we'll go to all these wonderful artist studios. It's going to be very cool.
Mhm.
Great. Okay, so we need someone to adjourn the movie. Oh my goodness. This is not a movie. Adjourn the meeting. Christine, your hand always goes up awfully fast on this one. I'm just saying.
Because I'm an ass kisser.
Oh, I see.
That's who Eddie Askell is on the Beaver Cleaver show.
I know, but well, we'll discuss this one.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome. Is there a second? I'll move that we adjourn our meeting. Raise your hand. It is unanimous. And I'm stopping the recording.